at least for us.
Yeah, this rubbed me the wrong way. And if I'm being charitable, like I would think, okay, can you summarize it for the audience so that we're all on the same page? Right. I don't want to overstep. You've read this text, could you summarize it for us so that we can, I don't want to overstep my bounds. But it's hard to think that that's what Wes Huff was doing.
You're saying it sounds like he's trying to have a gotcha. We're setting him up to make errors, and when he does potentially make the errors, let me pick him apart or try to. It's a debate. Clearly, he's trying to play tactics. He's doing an Aya. But that's well played. But the problem here, I think, is this. So what, right? So let's say that Billy Carson comes back and goes, no, I can't. So what? Like, what does that prove? Because I don't think it proves much of anything. And this is really the problem here, that I hold academics in the field to a higher standard. I remember there was a debate that Skylar Fiction had with someone whose name is escaping right now, but he's a PhD in philosophy. And he said to Skylar, who is a non-specialist, and he's not a philosopher, they were talking about morality, and the philosopher PhD guy said, and I feel bad that I can't remember his name now, but he said, well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore unless you could put your arguments in syllogistic form. Now, however, it was definitely to shut him up, right? That's how it came across. Like, I'm going to make you look dumb and I'm going to shut you up. Like, that's what the goal seemed to be for that scholar. And I did a response video to it because that really bothers me, because I think, first of all, it comes across as so elitist, right? And I think our role here as the people that are in the field, that are specialists, that have had the good fortune or opportunity to spend time in graduate school. I mean, I told you this before. I'm no smarter than the next guy. I just had the opportunity to get this training, right? There are people that are far more intelligent than I am. They just didn't have the opportunity to do it. So I think I have a responsibility, since I've had this opportunity to get this training, to try to make that available. And the way that you do it, I don't think, is to come to somebody who's an interested non-specialist, even if they have vastly different conclusions, ones that I wouldn't agree with, right? And to try to make them look stupid on the air. And that's how this came across.
I particularly have a very soft spot for people who are misled by figures like Billy, because I've spent my whole life working for people like Billy, but more so than that, trusting their doctrine of religion, of spirituality, of life, really. And those doctrines really affected my life very negatively. I actually like the guy. I've had some really good times with him. I won't even say I haven't, but I really don't think it's right what he's doing. It's one thing to not believe in Jesus, like whatever. It's America. It's freedom of religion. Believe in whatever you want to believe in. But to attack a religion based off just pure lies, that's one thing. But then to also affect people with fraud and stealing money from them and in the name of God, he has the flower of life behind them. Anybody in a spiritual community, this is just pure disrespect to that doctrine. The flower of life, no one really knows exactly what it is, but we do know it's sacred for whatever it is. So,
in my opinion, it seems like by mentioning the flower of life and saying that Billy putting this as a symbol behind him is a slap in the face to the community that holds this to be sacred, to me is grasping at straws. And I personally don't believe that the flower of life is sacred. I know that we don't know what it is, and it does involve sacred geometry, but my belief when I first saw the lion/dragon with his hand on it is a symbol not to meditate on, but a symbol of a system in which we used in the ancient past to control the globe. I believe from what I've seen, and in addition to the downloads that I've gotten, is in the earlier days when the grid was put in place, these temples and pyramids were placed on specific ley lines in, certain areas of intersecting energetic nodes on the ley lines, in addition to matching them with specific luminaries, which are also energetic dictators of this realm. When you draw lines to these places, it maps out sacred geometric patterns. And I think there's a lot more to this. So I'm actually making a video on this right now. I've been working on it for like 6 months. But the overall of the system was used to dictate energetic fields, create energetic fields that created a global resonant frequency that was actually used for control over weather systems as well as over us, the people, that in turn led to catastrophic periods of geographical upheavals, as well as mass die-offs and depopulation, and global resets, which we call ice ages. The same thing is taking place now with the satellites. There's nothing new under the sun. And these devices that we're all revering as amazing feats in technological advancements, when it's actually a repeat of our cyclical downfall, just packaged differently. So no, I don't think this is a symbol of sacred anything other than a symbol of our materialistic control and ultimately our demise. That's why it's known as a Metatronic symbol or the Daisy of Death.
I just didn't like the spirit behind this video. It actually freaked me out. And I think it shows you like a talking piece of this conscious space. And now that I'm a Christian, I have deep beliefs that this was something very spiritual happening here to Billy. And he was revealing who he really is. Like a very big introvert. I've always been very empathic. So I've always kind of just kept to myself. And my dominant emotions I would mainly feel when I was like upset would be depression or sadness. That was my go-to. Anger and rage, that was so foreign to me. But for some reason, knowing that this woman cheated on me, I felt rage. And I felt rage in a way that I actually scared myself. And I started like punching holes in my closet in my LA studio apartment. I mean, I was literally going unconscious, but there was like this slight awareness, like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't care. Like the rage felt good. And I really, really gave into this. And I had never experienced anything like this in my life. And I actually had this really bizarre moment where I locked eyes with myself in my bathroom mirror. And the words that came out of my mouth were, "Anton, you're being just like your father." And it scared the shit out of me. I was like, holy frick, my biggest fear is like literally coming true right now. So then I like shake it off and I'm like, oh my God, I need help. I was like, I need help. Like I can't stop this anger. So for the first time in my life, like, my background, I was not Christian. I was not anything other than like New Age spirituality and a little bit of Buddhism, Taoism, things like that. But something instinctively inside of me said like, you need to pray to God, not Jesus, just God. So I sat down on my floor and I was like, God, I don't know what's going on, but I need help. Like I could get emotional thinking about it. I was like, please help me. I was like, I need help. Like, I don't know what to do. Please help. That was it. That was the prayer. 10 minutes later, my girlfriend at the time walks through the door and I just start like going off. And I'm like, I don't remember everything. This is so many years ago, but it was something to the effect of like, all my past pain. How could you do this to me? I've been so nice to you. I've helped you. Da 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 da. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And all of a sudden, it felt like God or an angel or something just put their hands on my shoulders and I just like broke down and I was just crying like a baby. And this woman was so sweet. She was standing there and just holding space for me and being so kind. But I really feel like that was my first encounter with the Lord and I didn't even know. You know, maybe it was God the Father. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was very powerful and it was so pure. In all of this, I realized what was playing out was trauma. My girlfriend at the time, she actually didn't cheat on me. And I could see the truth now because like some veil had been lifted because like I was just replaying my own old past pain of abandonment and people I love hurting me.
Team was counting on me to make a good response video. My wife and my kid were counting on me to make a good response video, you know, and I failed. I didn't make a good video.
Did they see it before it went out?
It was live.
Oh.
It was live. Yeah. So, you know, in hindsight, I would have done a pre-recorded and had it looked at, but I went live on YouTube and, you know, and I was pretty upset.
When you're just coming out of being sick,
yeah,
not thinking at your best, and highly charged,
yeah,
generally your brain's not going to make the best forward-thinking decision.
Yeah.
Because you're in a fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
And you're in a fight mode because you feel betrayed.
Yeah, I was really feeling attacked. So, you know, we took the video down, but by then obviously everybody already copied it and made clips out of it and edited it in ways that made it look even worse than what it really was, to make it sound like I was being more general to the world, not just to the people that had attacked me. And the fact that the people that were using this content and putting it out really had skewed a lot of the truth and made some statements I don't personally feel were accurate.
In all of this, I realized what was playing out was trauma. My girlfriend at the time, she actually didn't cheat on me. And I could see the truth now because like some veil had been lifted because like I was just replaying my own old past pain of abandonment and people I love hurting me. And I've seen these people like this my whole life, and they show up in a different form than who they really are behind the scenes, and it's scary when you see it.
Everything he says, I know when you become famous on social media, people can think he's the guy, Wes, like, I have something going on with my family, whatever, I need something. He will fly across the world and be there for me in a heartbeat. For any of my children, I've seen him help so many people not on social media. I mean, like homeless. Yeah. And I've watched social media. I watch people just butcher, try to butcher his character when I've seen him behind the scenes acting like C.S. Lewis was saying, like in God's eyes of, I've watched him get a homeless guy, literally a car, and all these people writing in hate that it was fit. And I'm like, dude, he's my neighbor. Right. I watched him not only do that, but buy 3 other people cars that wasn't even public, out of love of wanting his character aligns with Christ more than he even knows. It's, and that's where I believe the devil tries to really defy people, like in the details. And I understand where his anger and everything's coming from, but
I think a lot of people are getting confused on what our intentions are. Look, I'm trying to help people not go down the road I went down because I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. It was so scary. Like I said in my testimonial, I actually can't believe I'm alive. It was that dark. There's a part of me that's just like, yo, this dude actually believes his own hype.
Yeah, I think that could be true. I think, you know, I know people who I think are genuine, like undiagnosed sociopaths who are chronic liars. And I know for a fact that those type of individuals start to believe their lies. And maybe that's the case with Billy, but it's just not true. So maybe he does believe what he's saying because he's like, manipulated his own